What's up, Zombie Talk 123? Last night, the Rays have absolutely stunned the Red Sox. I was flipping the game after I see the Cardinals win the wild card. They stunned the Braves as this whole month of September. The Red Sox, almost even worse, having a 10.5 game lead in September. And their main wild card threat, the Tampa Bay Rays, who have one of the lowest payrolls in the majors and lost two of their biggest free agents, two of their biggest players to free agency, or three actually, to free agency, and two of them going to the Red Sox, and Dan Wheeler and Carl Crawford. And then Carlos Pena losing to the Cubs. They come back this year. Manager of the year, Joe Madden. It's already, to me, it's already decided. For him to lead this guys, and they talked about it as, he doesn't try to get the guys to play as the team or organization wants them to play. He lets them kind of do how they play and how they can help this team, and it worked. Anytime you see a guy like Dan Johnson come in as a pinch hitter with 2 strikes and 2 outs, the season on the line, a loss and a Red Sox win would force Tampa Bay home and send them home. And Dan Johnson hits a tying home run in the 9th inning. You don't see that very often. Down 7-0 in the 8th for the Rays to score 6 runs, and then 7, and then get that 7th on a tying home run, a pinch hit solo home run, 2 outs, 2 strikes. The most important thing is it's Dan Johnson. He has done nothing for the Rays all year. Terrible batter for the Rays this year, and he comes through with the biggest hit of his career. And then the next inning, bottom of the 10th, I kind of just thought, this was a Rays game to win at this point. I just watched the Red Sox fail up 3-2, Papelbon, 2 outs and no one on, and they somehow tie it and then they somehow win it. That's kind of the way Red Sox September has gone for them. And the Baltimore Orioles, it seems like every other day they're blowing a save to the Baltimore Orioles, or it's really close or something. But the Tampa Bay Rays, Evan Longoria, like right before he hit that home run, I just kind of thought, I think he might hit a walk-off home run right here. It just, he hit a home run early in the 8th, and it just like I could just see it happening. They could go to the playoffs. And he hit the home run, and I'm just thinking in my mind, wait a minute, they won. Boston's out of the playoffs. I mean, it's just like, it's hard to imagine that a big AL East market like that just got Carl Crawford, they got Adrian Gonzalez, they have Bobby Jenks and Dan Wheeler. They focus so much on relief and offense, and like, where's their pitching? They had some guys hurt, and they had a lot of disappointment this year. John Lackey, one of the worst starting pitchers in the league this year. I'll call him the worst. I mean, if he was pitching for any other team, he'd probably have like 3 wins. I mean, it's been terrible for the Red Sox. They started off the worst team in baseball, and they ended with a terrible month. Excuse me. It was absolutely incredible, though, to really think about the fact that what the Rays had to do. They had to overcome so much with all these free agents leaving, low budget, all these young guys coming up. How did they end up winning the wild card over the Red Sox? Like, how are they still in this? You expect them, it might take a few years to get good again. They have prospects ready to go. This organization is set up so well, and for them to win is absolutely amazing. But it's even bigger the fact that the Red Sox lost. I mean, they're out of the playoffs. They have this great team, and it's been historical comeback. One of the biggest comebacks in history. It might even be the biggest comeback in history for wild card. But a lot of things went wrong. Carl Crawford not having a good year for the Red Sox. Starting pitching is the main thing here. And they just struggled down the stretch. And it's funny because the way things have been going, I kind of was like before both the games, I was like, the way things are going, I think the Cardinals and Rays might come out of this as wild card champions, and it would be so incredible if they do. And really, it's just kind of the way things have been going. You could almost predict it. The Braves and the Red Sox losing again, the Cardinals and the Rays winning again. You could really predict that almost happening, and the Cardinals and Rays winning the wild card. So now the Rays, I believe, will play Texas. It's amazing. It's last night was a historic night for MLB, not just because these wild card collapses. And not just because, they both lost, but the fact that how they were lost. The fact that Boston had a 3-2 lead in the 9th and gave up, and Jonathan Papelbon had 2 outs and nobody on with 2 strikes at one point, and gave up a double, and then another double, and then a single to lose the game. I think he was crying in the dugout too. And then the next and then you flip it over, and moments later, the Rays walk off after being down 7-0 in the 8th inning. And then the Braves going into the 14th inning with Philly after their Rookie of the Year closer blows a lead in Philadelphia in the 9th. And the Phillies end up winning on a little bloop, like line drive, because Freddie Freeman wasn't playing his regular position. He was holding the runner on. And then the Cardinals were really the only game that wasn't odd. They just killed the Astros 8-0. But the Red Sox losing is absolutely devastating for Red Sox fans. I can't even imagine. There's nothing more to say. It was one of the most disappointing seasons for Red Sox history. And for the Rays, it's just like, wow, it's amazing. They might have a chance in the playoffs. I'm not really expecting them to win in the playoffs, but the fact that they got there is absolutely amazing. It's not really whether they win the World Series or not. The Cardinals, it's going to be really interesting, too. They have to play the Phillies first. And that's really all I have to say about this. Red Sox totally fail in this one. The Rays win the wild card. They've had a really good year, though, from young guys stepping up. Desmond Jennings, Jeremy Hellickson, possible AL Rookie of the Year candidate there. Jeremy Hellickson, the Cardinals have been, coveting him, and I was really hoping for a trade with Colby Rasmussen and we get him, but he's way too good to give up. I mean, this guy is going to be an ace for the Rays. He almost already is. James Shields. I mean, their whole rotation is really good, cost-controlled young guys that, with it's funny because anytime you don't have David Price as your ace anymore, your team's doing really good, going in the right direction. With James Shields back as James Shields, David Price, Jeremy Hellickson, and a few other guys, this is a fantastic Rays team. With so much overcoming, Evan Longoria's injury at the start of the season, he's back. He has 30 home runs again. Desmond Jennings put up a great year this year. Matt Joyce put up a good year this year. I mean, so much talent on this Rays team, a lot of young talent. And they've really put it together. And Ben Zobrist has had a career year this year as well. I feel great for the Rays. Congratulations for the Rays. They win the AL wild card this year, are in the playoffs, and they knock Boston out. It will be talked about for many weeks how Boston is out of the playoffs. And it's going to be a long off season for the Braves and the Red Sox. Very disappointing last day for them. But for the two teams that are in, nothing could have been better for them. I mean, this is absolutely the perfect scenario. So Cardinal fans and Rays fans, just enjoy it, because you never know when a year comes when you're the team that loses the big lead and there's some other team celebrating, and you never know. So just really happy to be here as a Cardinal fan, be in the playoffs, and we'll see what happens Saturday. As a Rays fan, they also start they start tomorrow or Saturday. I can't remember, but I think it's C.J. Wilson versus, not sure exactly. But the Rays will start the playoffs either tomorrow or Saturday. I think it actually might be tomorrow. So congratulations to the Rays. Sorry for the Red Sox fans. It's going to be a really interesting playoffs. It's going to be fun to watch this year. All right, thanks for watching Zombie Talk 1, 2, 3.